Welcome to East Alabama Today, featuring topics, events, and interesting people from all over East Alabama. Hosted by Carl Brady. Now, let's get right to the show. Here's Carl Brady.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into East Alabama Today. I'm Carl Brady. Thank you for being with us on today's program. We want to start off like we always do with a little contact information for you to get in touch with us. If you have an idea for the program, we'd love to hear from you. Simply send me an email, cbrady@tv24.tv. That's cbrady@tv24.tv. We want to know about the special events that are going on in your community, things that are happening with your church, your neighborhood, your community organization. Tell us about what's happening in your neck of the woods. We'll talk about special events and all of those kind of things. Help you promote them a little bit and spread the word about your message or the message of your organization. So all you have to do is get in touch with me at cbrady@tv24.tv. And we also want to know about the interesting people who live in your community. Maybe you know someone who's a writer, an artist, or a musician. Maybe they have an odd or an interesting hobby. Do you think they'd be a great guest for the program? That's exactly the kind of people we want to know about. So send me emails at tv24.tv. cbrady@tv24.tv. Don't forget as well our website, eastalabamatoday.com. All you have to do is go there to find out more about the program or to see archived video of the shows you may have missed. If you missed part of a show, if you missed all of a show, whatever, go online and check it out at eastalabamatoday.com. Just click on the archive shows section. We'll be back in just a moment with today's show, so stay with us. And we welcome you back into East Alabama Today. Again, I'm Carl Brady. Thanks so much for being with us on today's program. A couple of guests joining me in our Gadsden studio today. One no stranger to East Alabama Today, a close friend of the show for a long time now, Vicki Meeks. Vicki, welcome to the program.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Good to have you back again. With Vicki is Christi Brown with the Humane Society, Pet Rescue and Adoption Center. I keep remembering that I have to say it that way nowadays, but these ladies are here with us to talk about some things that are going on with the Humane Society and to actually get a little bit personal as well. As I mentioned, Vicki has been a close friend of the show for many years now, and always bringing some interesting critters on the show with her. And this is Bob that's with us today. And Vicki, just start us out a little bit with your story over the last few months, and then kind of catch everybody up to where you are.
Back in March, I thought I was having a heart attack. Went to the emergency room and found out I had lung cancer. Mm-hmm. So I started treatment pretty much right away, and fortunately I have not been terribly sick mm-hmm. with the treatment. And then in May it was at stage 4 in my bones, and then recently in August mm-hmm. we got a good report. It's pretty much gone from my bones. It did not show up on my PET scan, so good. The treatment that I received for that seems to be working, mm-hmm. and my lungs are stable. Mm-hmm. They have just yesterday started me on a new treatment or upped my medications to see if we can decrease and help the tumor that's in my lung mm-hmm. to decrease and go away.
Go away, hopefully. Absolutely.
And or at least be very manageable. And I had like I said, I've not been sick other than the radiation made me very sick. Mm-hmm. But after that was over, I had 10 treatments, and some days it's hard to tell that there's anything wrong with me other than I might be tired because mm-hmm. chemotherapy does make you very tired. Mm-hmm. As you can see, I haven't lost my hair.
Right.
I haven't lost a whole lot of weight. So.
I know everybody. It's been kind of funny. You said everybody who sees you says, "Wow, you look good," and you're like, "Well, what am I supposed to look like?" Yeah.
Did I not look good before? Or I feel good.
Yeah.
and I really do. And Saturday was our the benefit that the Alabama Knights of Etowah County had a benefit, and the response was just overwhelming. Of friends from the shelter, friends from high school that I haven't seen in years, and it's hard to say how, other than wonderful, how it makes you feel, and it really energized me because I was out all day. God bless us with a beautiful day that day.
It was a wonderful day, yeah.
And I'm speechless with everything, because it was such a good day, and everybody worked hard. The community sponsors were huge, and it's also very good and makes it a lot easier for you to fight a little harder.
Yeah.
It really does.
Christi, talk a little bit about how this came together. You told me before that once word started getting around town that Vicki had been diagnosed with lung cancer, that offers of support and ideas just started rolling in like crazy.
It was amazing. Of course, when word did get out that Vicki was sick, several people had called, started trickling in. What can we do? I don't really know, but we'll let you know. We'll let you know. And Vicki really didn't need anything. I mean, she's pretty low maintenance. But it started coming in a little bit more aggressively. People kept calling, and I got a call from Brian Smith with Alabama Knights. His wife Gail, who knows Vicki from the messenger, she had mentioned to Brian that Vicki was battling cancer, and he contacted me and asked if they could do their ride in honor of her this year and raise money for her medical funds. I said, well, I'll run it by her, but I'm pretty sure she won't have a problem with that. So we immediately, several volunteers from the Humane Society met with them at one of their monthly meetings and got to meet all the wonderful people. They're just an awesome bunch of guys and girls, but they're Etowah County law enforcement. So Brian,
that's what I wanted to explain who the Alabama Knights are. It's a motorcycle group,
gang.
A motorcycle gang, but they're all law enforcement people or retired law enforcement people.
They're an amazing bunch of guys, but they Brian Boatwright, Brian Smith, and Kenny Tidmore were the three most instrumental that we worked directly with. And Vicki had not met any of them during the whole process of getting this fundraiser together until, I believe, Saturday morning when she came to send everyone off. So that was just an amazing blessing to be able for her to come out and feel good enough to come out. And that was all worth it. But those guys put a lot into it. Had over 80 sponsors, 70-something riders. I mean, it was just an amazing day.
It was, and I got a real big surprise. They passed down the road where I live, and where the yard starts at the bottom of on the road, it's a slight hill, and then it's a straight road. Well, they stopped at the bottom of the hill and packed up. And rev their motors up. And when I think about it, it still makes me, in those big old Harleys, makes cold chills on me. And so they rode in a close pack by. And we had some friends and relatives from the community all standing out there. And they drive on by, and they start stopping again. And when the end gets to where I was standing, a limousine pulls up.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was Brian got off and opened the door and said, "Here's your ride." So then we went on down Gallant Road and over down 77, 431, and all the traffic stopped for us and everything. And then down Duck Springs Road over to Keener, and then over onto the Falls, and then they brought me home. So it was a wonderful day. We had a lot of good music. I want to thank all the musicians, Trading Faces, Ed Howard Band, and my son's a group of friends that were booked as The Last Straw, formerly The Last Straw. It was a group of music friends that he had played with for many years, off and on in different venues and stuff, and so they just all got together and came down and played all my favorite songs.
Yeah, I noticed that. And I'm sure that was special too, because he lives in Nashville now, works as a musician in Nashville, and so bringing all his friends together and coming down for a big jam session at Knockalula Falls on the little stage there at Knockalula Falls, and it was a lot of fun.
It was
and some good music.
Some good music. The sponsors, they had a lot of raffles that they gave away, and I don't know how many people were there, but it looked like a lot to me.
Yeah.
That came and went throughout the day. And so I can never say thank you enough to all those that attended the concert, all those that rode in the ride, and all the ones that were behind the scene, the volunteers from the shelter and friends. It's just, I mean, when you have something like cancer and that many people help you, like I said, it just makes you want to fight harder, and makes you realize how many friends you do have, and what a blessing it is. In the last 6 months, I have had more blessings than I have ever realized. And friends have quit smoking. And so to me, that's a blessing. And I have met people. I have get well cards from people that say, you don't know me, but you're in my prayers. I'm in prayers all over the country. And so prayer works, and I'm not going to give up till I get better. I'm not going to have it any other way.
Not have it any other way, exactly. Time for us to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment to continue with Vicki Meeks and Christi Brown in the Humane Society in Etowah County. We'll be back in a moment. And we welcome you back into East Alabama today. Vicki Meeks and Christi Brown and Bob are our guests today with the Humane Society Pet Rescue and Adoption Center in Etowah County. And we've been talking about Vicki's recent diagnosis, learning that she has lung cancer. And as part of that, you're going to kind of be slowing down with your work at the shelter. You're still going to be around, still be doing things. But one of the reasons Christi is with us today is to introduce her to the public as the interim director of the shelter while you go and focus on getting better.
And in the last couple of weeks, she's done a great job.
Thank you.
Yes, she will be acting director and be physically in the shelter. Because of my treatment and everything, I'm not able to be there as much and be kind of hands-on with things. But I will be going and go when I can and stay when I can, but she'll still be there.
And you have to be careful because with your treatments, it kind of lowers your immune system a little bit, so you have to be careful about being around dogs that may be sick or animals that may be sick. So you have to watch out for your health even when you're at the shelter too.
When I'm in the office and away from the animals, I don't have to wear a mask. But if I'm out, even around in the public, close to the public, and when I am around some of the animals, I do try to wear a mask. And I just, it's just in me so much, I can't just leave
just can't walk away and leave it. Absolutely. So you're still going to be around as much as possible.
Yes, and because now Christi's going to have the hard part, and I get to have the fun part.
Right. Just go in and play with them occasionally.
Exactly.
Well, Christi, talk about your history with the Humane Society. You've been volunteering and part of the Humane Society for a while, so now stepping up into this position.
Yeah, we were trying to figure the other day how long we'd actually known each other. We're thinking of around 91, 92. But I began volunteering with the Humane Society, just coming on as a volunteer, helping with roadblocks and that kind of thing. And as the years went by, I learned more about, Vicki's direction for the shelter, and of course we built the new building, and so I became more involved and started serving as a board member, and that allowed me to be more hands-on with the shelter. So we kind of strengthened our friendship and partnership in that aspect, and did not think ever in a million years that I would be going in to hold the fort down, but it's an honor to carry the torch for her while she's beating cancer. So it's an honor for me, and I'm at a point in my life where I can do that, and I couldn't think of anywhere else I'd rather be.
And Vicki has built a strong reputation for the Humane Society in Etowah County, so you've got just taking the reins and keeping it on track, right?
Which is just to oversee operations.
Yeah.
She's in there every day. I don't really know why I'm needed, but she's in there just about every day. But it's, I think, giving her the peace of mind knowing that it's going to continue in the direction that she wants it to go in. And if that, that's just a small thing that I can give her to put her mind at ease, because, the shelter's her life, and it's something I can offer her as a friend and a support. And I think it's just amazing to be able to do that, and that God's given me the opportunity where I actually can do that for her. So it's
just
really nice.
to be in the right situation in your life right now, that it just happens to fit perfectly into how things are going.
It does. We were talking the other day about how everything's just gently falling into place, and it's amazing. And of course, after her getting her great news last week from the doctor, it's also given me a fresh perspective on what I can actually do at the shelter. So I'm, continuing with the fundraising and all the things that I did as a volunteer. But again, it's just like just holding the torch for someone, and I guess that kind of, with the Olympic Games just finishing up, it does. That's what it feels like, and it's just an honor to be able to do that.
And to know that she is known in the community through our fundraising, and so it's. I'm very thankful that she is knowledgeable about our programs and in the community and our networking, because we spent a week in Hattiesburg during Katrina, so she rolled her sleeves up and learned a lot then. So, and that really bonded us with something special. And Christi is a very special person, and it takes a certain mindset to be able to work in an animal shelter anywhere. Not just anybody can do it. And she has done a wonderful job, and I know that she will continue to do a good job. And we have a direct line with each other, so we can pretty much stay in communications. And she hasn't needed a whole lot of help, just some questions of some things, that's never come up before. And
so, some of the behind the scenes stuff that you just normally quietly take care of and deal with.
But I think she makes a great spokesperson and is a very good public relations out in the community. And I know that she's going to do a wonderful job for her stay there.
And kind of a frying pan into the fire situation, because just as soon as this starts happening, just recently, you probably saw the news stories on TV 24. Gadsden police raided a home, and it turned out to be an unlicensed breeding situation, kind of a hoarding situation as well. 120 something birds that they confiscated, a bunch of dogs, and even a couple of chickens, I believe, and cats and things like that. And all of a sudden, you guys have a shelter full of sick animals that you had to figure out what to do with. Kind of give us an update on that situation with those animals.
They're responding very well to the veterinary care that we've been able to provide them. Our partnerships with our veterinarians are very important to us for exactly these kind of situations. They've done a phenomenal job getting these animals back up to par. They're doing well. They're actually thriving now versus when they actually first came in, and I wasn't on board when they first got to the shelter, but the staff has worked countless hours to make sure that they're getting everything that they need. And the public, the outcry, the support from the public has been phenomenal. We are still in need of certain supplies, bird food. We are going through a lot of bird food. The animals are doing well, and at this point, we're actually, obviously it's a court case, so we have to wait for the judges to release the animals to us, and at that point we will immediately find forever homes for them. We've got a lot of rescue organizations that have contacted us, and I think it's very important in this line of work to have those networking partnerships, and we've just had a lot of people, call us and what can we do to help? And yeah, but there's a lot of birds there, Coral.
Yeah.
A lot of birds.
A lot of birds.
Yeah, and they're very chatty.
Because most of them are exotic birds,
They are.
and so they're bright and colorful, and I know they were stressed in the condition they were in, and the conditions they were kept in. So many of them had been, picking their own feathers off, as birds will do when they get stressed. And the dogs were in pretty bad shape with, what was it, sarcoptic mange, which is scabies to humans.
Very highly contagious.
Highly contagious.
I'm learning all kind of things.
Yeah.
The first day I was there, I said, well, I'll go back in the back and help them, and because that's what I do when I go to the shelter as a volunteer. So I walked through the Sally Port, which goes out to where the animal control's able to come in. When I walked through the door, everybody's in hazmat suits. And I thought, I think I'll just go answer phones and they'll call me if they need me. And that's when I realized it's very contagious. And that just gave me a new level of respect for the staff. And I mean, they get in there and get it done. And was having kind of a down day the other day. And I thought, well, go in there and help one of the staff members get the birds cleaned up, because that's a full-time job.
Oh, yeah.
You walk in the room and like 4 of them are whistling at me, and I'm like, I think whenever somebody's having a bad day, they should just come in and get whistled at. Very talkative creatures, but very beautiful. And I don't think it'll be a problem at all finding them homes.
I do know that in talking to the staff and checking to see how things were going, after the birds got into the shelter, then they got them cleaned up, got their cages in there, and about a 24-hour period, they said that they just changed. They were very quiet, didn't move around a lot, but once they showered and got them washed off and everything, that their whole personalities changed, and you could tell that they were much happier because they were singing and whistling and just being making the sounds that birds make. And it's just, it's those kinds of things are what's so rewarding, is when you can see almost immediately when you take an animal out of a bad situation and put it in a good situation, even if it is in a shelter, how much happier they can be, and you can see they're just their body language, and they just change, and you can see that happiness, and that is one of the most rewarding things in shelter work that you can do is to be able to see that change in an animal. Yeah,
and one of the things too, you talk about that needs, having such a situation hit the Humane Society all at one time unexpectedly, it's a big hit to the budget as well, because of all the extra supplies that need. I think the estimate was it was going to cost a minimum of $400 for each dog to go through all of their treatments to get them back healthy. So not only do you need supplies for the birds, and food and toys for the birds, but monetary donations to help with the health care of these animals is important right now too.
Definitely. We need that to continue to facilitate the care that they need, and they need a lot of care right now. Right. So we definitely would appreciate any monetary donations and we are getting a lot of those, but we're going through them very quickly. So that would probably be our biggest need at this point.
Okay, time for us to take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll let you know how to get in touch with the Humane Society in Etowah County and make those donations or inquire about any of the other animals that may be up for adoption. We'll do that when we come back. Stay with us. Final minute or so of the program, how to get in touch and make your donations to the Humane Society Pet Rescue and Adoption Center in Etowah County. Vicki, what's the easiest way? We've talked about needing donations, needing money for these animals and for just the general operations. What's the best way to do that?
The best way would be monetary donations can be mailed to 4200 Burke Avenue, Gadsden 35904.
Okay.
If you want to bring in items, the shelter hours are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to 4, and 10 to 2 on Saturday, and at 4200 Brook Avenue. And so right now, that's the best ways to get in touch with us. Or you can call 256-442-1347. And if there's message machines on all the phones. There's a directory on there if you want adoptions or if needing information about a lost pet or all those kinds of things. So we are there, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 10 to 4 and 10 to 2 on Saturday.
All right, and be sure to search them on Facebook as well. Christi, how is it listed on Facebook?
Humane Society Pet Rescue and Adoption Center.
Okay, so search it on Facebook for more information to keep up with all the things that are going on. Ladies, again, thank you very much for being with us on the program. Thank you, Christi, and best wishes for you in your fight against this cancer.
Thank you very much, and like I said, I know I'll beat it.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us.
I'm sorry, I got more work to do.
You got more work to do, absolutely. Thanks for joining us here on TV 24 on East Alabama Today. We'll see you next time.